Hey guys, I'm JayMaymi from the JayMaymi.com. Excited to bring you another segment on how to thrive. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to another training session with JayMaymi. Hope that you are getting a lot of value from these training sessions that we're having, and they are really making an impact in your personal life as you develop your business or your academic career or your professional development and your personal relationships, whatever it is that you are looking to change. I hope these videos are adding for you an element of inspiration that will take you to a whole new level of achievement. Today we're going to talk about, though, the 5 whats of change. And what does that mean? That means that before you begin to have any real progress or any new development in your life where you find yourself that there is a position of getting sort of dissatisfied with what's happening, you have to ask yourself, where am I deficient and where are the changes that I need to make? But the problem is that oftentimes is recognizing what those changes are where most people get stuck at. So today we're going to talk about the questions to ask before you begin to make solid change. Let me give an example. The first question of the 5 whats of change is what's working. In other words, sometimes there's things that you are doing that are working. And you have to identify what's working. Because if it isn't broken, it doesn't need to be fixed, right? So what is working? And what can you continue to do that will enhance the development that you're seeking? If it's working, continue to do it. In fact, do more of what's working. But that's not what this video is about in so much as it is to find out what's not working. So you have to identify and ask yourself, okay, what's not working? And that's probably the hardest part for most people. You know, sometimes it's a mystery as to why things aren't happening the way you would like them to happen. Why aren't you earning the kind of income you want to earn? Why isn't your business growing the way it should be growing? Why aren't you earning promotions the way that you would want to have promotions? Or why isn't that you are losing the weight that you would like to lose? Even though you're making an effort at something, even though if you're attempting it, it's just not working. Well, you have to ask yourself, what's not working in that pursuit? And once you identify it, then you can begin the process of change. So, right, what's working? But what's not working is probably the most critical question. The very next question is the one that really becomes the turning point. You've made a turning point here with what's not working, but here's the continuing turning point that really puts some muscle to that turn. It's asking yourself, what needs to work? What needs to work? So you start to consider, I've identified what's working, what's not working, but now really what needs to work? How much money do I need to be earning in order to have quality of life? How much weight do I really need to lose in order to get in good shape and to feel good about myself? What kind of grades do I need to get in order to get into that college, or in order to have my parents proud of me? And what does my partner need to hear from me in order to have this relationship work well? And my teammates, what do they need from me? It's very, very important to identify what needs to change, what needs to work. If this doesn't work, this will not happen. If this doesn't change, this won't be the positive result of that. What needs to work? But knowing what needs to work is not enough until you recognize what has to work. What has to work? What that means is, if it doesn't work, then what will be the negative ramification of that? What has to work? I have to make more money. I have to lose weight. It goes beyond just needing for something to change or needing for something to work. It goes to that extreme level of what has to work. In other words, there's no negotiations on that one. There's no compromise on that one. You could need for something to happen, but if it doesn't happen, man, maybe you're sort of not so freaked out about it. It's not really going to make a big change. You know, you can live with the consequences. But when you get to the point to say, you ask, what has to work? Now that changes everything. It's a game changer. Well, what has to work is one of those questions that lead to the 5th question. Why? By the way, guys, great, right? What's working, what's not working, starting to make a change, what needs to work, what has to work, wonderful. But you can still drop the ball and see no change until you arrive at the 5th question. What am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? In other words, I've identified what has to change, what's not working, what needs to work, what has to work. Wonderful. But then what am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? It's not good enough to recognize that something needs to change. You could say that all day long. It's not good enough to recognize that it has to change. Heck, you can live with that all day long. But it's until the moment that you recognize that, hey, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? If I do nothing about it, then the rest of these other questions will have been good questions to ask. What am I going to do about not being able to lose weight? What am I going to do now that I recognize my deficiencies? What am I going to do now that I realize I need to make more money? What am I going to do about it? Am I going to be okay with doing nothing? Or am I going to get off my hump? Am I going to really put some pedal to the metal, put some action steps in place? Because if I don't, then change won't occur. See, the most important question you can ask yourself is, what am I willing to do about it? What am I going to do about it? And you'll begin to then at that point realize that change will only come when you actually take the steps in order to make change occur. The questions are great. But the 5 whats of change, here's the best question. What am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Now that you recognize change has to occur. Hey guys, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for plugging in. Look forward to seeing you next time.